His first lesson in second chances came early. He was only 7 when his teacher sent him home with a note. His mother Nancy read that note silently while he watched her face very intently. And then she smiled and she said to him, "Your teacher says that you're too brilliant for the classroom, so I'm going to teach you myself." Only many years later did he discover the truth. The note said he was addled, unfit for school, and too stupid to learn. But what might have become a dead end became a second chance instead. His mother's faith in him replaced the teacher's rejection, so that learning became an adventure rather than an obstacle. And that pattern would follow him for the rest of his life. As a boy, he was endlessly curious, sometimes dangerously so. He once set fire to his father's barn while he was playing. It could have been catastrophic, but instead of extinguishing his curiosity, his parents were wise enough to use moments like this to just show grace. And so early on, he learned that mistakes were not roadblocks. They were merely opportunities to do better the second time. Recurring illness during his teenage years made him nearly deaf. So many people would see that as a life-altering limitation. But he came to see his deafness as a strange gift. The quiet helped him to think, and isolation gave him a chance to focus. And so in a very real way, his loss became his advantage. He later realized that that malady was actually another second chance, even though this time it came in disguise. His adult life was filled with business ventures that collapsed, most of them, before they ever had a chance to succeed. He lost so many jobs, and he lost so much money. And even after he finally did achieve some measure of success, it didn't come easily because his rivals dismissed him and his critics mocked his ideas. While he was working on one project, he literally made 10,000 attempts to get it right, all to no avail. But when somebody asked him about his failure, he said, "Oh, I haven't failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." You see, to him, it wasn't a defeat. It was a second chance, a second time to try again, this time armed with new knowledge and new experience. He was 67 when fire destroyed one of his buildings, including many of the unfinished projects he had stored inside. As he watched it all burn to the ground, instead of becoming despondent and lapsing into deep depression, he actually shouted to his son, "Go get your mother and her friends. They'll never see a fire like this ever again." He's amazing. And of course, he began rebuilding the very next day. You see, every time he had a setback, he simply got up and started over again. He refused to treat failure as final. He saw rejection only as redirection. He always made the choice to keep on learning, and he always seemed to muster up the courage to try again the second time. By the end of his life, Thomas Alva Edison held over 1,000 patents for brilliant ideas. Today, his name is associated with some of the world's most helpful inventions: the light bulb, the phonograph, the motion picture camera, alkaline batteries, and the electric power distribution system. Thomas Alva Edison completely changed how our world lit up its nights, recorded its voices, and powered its cities. That man literally altered human existence forever. Thomas Edison left our world better and brighter. Here it is. Not because he never failed. He failed countless times. That's not how he helped us. He helped us because he never quit. That's what it did. That's what helped us. Thomas Edison literally lived a life of second chances. And so his greatest contribution to human history may actually not have been one of his great inventions. It may have actually been his mindset. The belief that yesterday's failure does not prevent tomorrow's breakthrough. If we ever needed to realize anything in ministry, it's probably that. If we ever needed to realize anything in living for God, it's most likely that. Yesterday's failure, no matter how bad, how dark, how depressing, how humiliating, does not prevent tomorrow's breakthrough, tomorrow's victory, tomorrow's miracle. It does not. It does not. Every second